Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So we'll begin with the Mangala. So thank you very much, dear devotees, for giving your valuable association. So for next few weeks, we may be meeting virtually, but I'm very happy you all are enthusiastic coming here and joining to have a discussion. Thank you so much. Om Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri-Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manovisharam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Samtam Sadhivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Varijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityananda Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachare Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatadesharine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So, yes. ऐसे पंकज धीरोगन जैसे. So let's get started. So who all do we have in the because who all are there? I see Bilasubi is there, Vijay Mataji, yourself, all that. Okay, very nice. Thank you. Okay, so let me share my screen. Yeah. Okay. So we started with the Srimad Bhagavatam, and we are reading from chapter 10, which is departure of Lord Krishna for Dwarka. So Lord Krishna is now getting ready. So before we begin, I just want to make sure that people have a gratitude. So whatever discussion which are going to happen is already coming from the scriptures that I have read, and I have listened to classes from some of the great and exalted devotees, which I hear and then narrate back here. So all the credit may go to all of them. If there's any mistake, it will be solely mine. So please forgive me. And please bless me so that I can speak some nice Harikatha, which will be enlightening to all our hearts and improve and help us make progress in our Bhakti Yoga. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripasinubhyasya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So far, we have covered till verse number 22, where the ladies of Hastinapur are now glorifying. They are now going to talk about Krishna's departure. Means they are glorifying Krishna, who Krishna is. It is such a wonderful thing to see this. It is not a easy thing, but these are saying it. So let's go to the slide number that, and then we'll get started from there. We were 23, yeah. So here, all the ladies are going to speak about the Lord's form. So we'll recite the words. Verse number 23, which talks about the form of the Lord. Okay. So, yeah, You all can recite after me. It will be nice to hear your voices. Yeah. Sava ayam yat padamatra surayo.
Padamatra Surya
Jitendriya nirjitamatarishvana.
Jitendriyani Jitamatarishvana
Pashyanti bhaktya utkalitaamalatmana.
Pashyanti Bhaktya Kalitarmalatmana
Nanvesha sattvam parimarstum arhati.
Anveshasatvam Parimarthamarthi.
Okay, so somebody can read the translation. Maybe Avnish, you can read, and then somebody in the room later on.
Sure, Prabhu. Translation. Here is the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose transcendental form is experienced by the great devotees who are completely cleansed of material consciousness by dint of rigid devotional service and full control of life and the senses. And that is the only way to purify existence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this is such a wonderful verse, and there is a very lot of instruction also given here. Okay, so you hear the dog barking in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't do about anything about it. Sorry about that. But that's okay. That's we have to consider transcendental voice and just go on at that. So here one important point which is mentioned, that full control of life and the senses. In translation, Prabhupada writes, full control of life and senses, meaning somebody who is a Jitendriya, who has done victory over his senses, mind and senses. Very, very important point for all the sadhakas, all the Bhakti Yoga practitioners. This is the topmost problem. And if we overcome this, then our life will be successful, 100%. Jitendriya is the biggest problem that this world faces today. Very few people are able to control their senses, including practitioners of Bhakti Yoga. They all are having that challenges. So that's what it is. So now let us read the purport. So purport by our dear Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
It says, in Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that the Lord can be known in his real nature by dint of pure devotional service only. Very important. We can know Krishna in his real form only through devotional service. Otherwise, all the Mayavadis, they know him as a Nirakar, Parabrahma. People know him as a Brahman, but they cannot understand his real form. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yas chasmi tattvataha tato mam tattvato jnatva vishate tad anantaram. So here Krishna is telling that only through devotional practice one can attain. Krishna himself is telling. Nobody is telling. Krishna is declaring. So when supreme authority confirm, then what we need to do? We need to just follow that. We need to do that activity. Like we are working on a company and CEO sends one email, hey, this is what we have to do. From tomorrow, we are increasing every day 1 hour work from 8 hours to 9 hours. That's okay. Everybody has to work. I mean, there is no excuse in that, isn't it? Now we follow these kind of things when a material authority tells us to do that. But when Supreme Personality himself is telling, the Krishna himself is telling us this instruction, then we think, should I follow, should I not follow? We have doubts in our mind, isn't it? We have doubt. Is Krishna telling this? Maybe I can do a little bit here and there. Like, if CEO has told that everybody has to be here 7 a.m. tomorrow, I mean, people will come, or you are fired. Either you get fired or you are on the 7 a.m. call. But here Krishna is not telling all this. Krishna is telling you do this. Because in the end, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, now I have explained all these things to you. Now it's up to you to make the decision what you want to do. So Krishna is giving that free will. The free will is given to all of us, where we can make the decision whether I want to follow what Krishna is telling or I want to do something on my own. Right? So this is very, very important point which Prabhupada is making here. So here Prabhupada says further, so it is stated here that only the great devotees of the Lord who are able to clear the mind of all material dust by rigid devotional service. Like, right now Mata is doing some dusting because we have come here, home after several years. Though it has been cleaning every week, but she has the intention to, okay, let me make it nice and clean. So the dusting is required in our mind also. We have to clean our mind. And how can we do it? By hearing Harikatha, by listening to scriptures, by reading scriptures and immersing into that. This will declutter our mind. Today, Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj was in Accenture. He took an online class. And he was talking about decluttering mind, how we should declutter. He says, our mind is cluttered with so much. And with mind, he says, mind will get cluttered because things around us are cluttered. What are those? Our phone is having so many clutter in that. Our home is having so many clutter in that. So many things are going around. In our daily activity, there is so many clutter. It is not organized. We do things haphazard. There is no plan. Discipline is not there. He was mentioning that. If we bring discipline in our life will become very smooth. But somehow we are not able to, because that is the difficulty. That's the difficult part. And enforcing discipline is difficulty. In fact, when the discipline is enforced, it is unpleasant. But if same thing is practiced willingly, it is a great pleasure. Like somebody who has to go for a gym early in the morning, then it is pain for them. But if somebody says, I want to go because I have to come in shape, I want to reduce my weight. And for him, it is enthusiasm. He is waiting for that gym time. I have to go there. In Bhakti also same thing. How much interest we have in chanting, how much interest we have in reading scriptures, how much interest we have in Harikatha. Okay, we have interest. Now, can we make this in a discipline and see the change? So that change happens. Prabhupada further writes, Jitendriya means one who has full control over senses. The senses are active parts of the body and their activities cannot be stopped. This is very important. So here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Chaitanya Chaitanya, he says, Jivare lalasa yei iti uti dhai, Shishnodara parayan Krishna nahi paye. So, somebody in the room, Vilas Prabhu or Vikas Prabhu, can one of you read this?
Yeah, one who is subservient to a tongue and to the both ears and tail, devoted to the genitals and the belly, cannot attain Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So you're saying that one who is subservient to tongue and goes here and there in eating, I want to eat in this restaurant, this new menu has come, oh, there's a discount going on, right? All these things keeps happening around us. And then it just takes us into a different path altogether. Our discussions are altogether different. When we do it, how do you know, did you try this dish? And it was amazing. I went there, my friend took me. I generally don't go there, but it was new, so I thought, let me try. And then discussion is around that only, not in Harikatha. And similarly, who is connected with genital and belly is also same thing. Krishna will not, this is Mahaprabhu's word, dear devotees. Mahaprabhu is telling, Krishna nahi paye. So we may do bhajan, we may do chanting, we may do reading and all that, but if we are still attached like a karma mishra bhakti, if you are in a karma mishra bhakti, then we cannot get Krishna. Very difficult. We cannot see him in this original form. We cannot go back to Godhead. It will be difficult. So we have to become Jitendriya. We have to overcome like the Goswamis. Go means senses and Swami means who is the master. So Goswamis are one who has mastered the senses. Otherwise, opposite of that is Godas, who are the servant of the senses. Meaning, whatever sense say, yeah, I will do it. Oh, I want to do this, I want to read this, I want to see this, I want to eat this. We just want to do that. That is Godas. Here, Prabhupada is saying that the activities cannot be stopped. The senses activity cannot be stopped. So you want to hear for sure. Your eyes have to see. Your tongue has to taste food. We cannot stop that. It is impossible. So what we have to do? We have to divert that. Like here, Prabhupada gives an example of Vishwamitra Muni. What has happened to Vishwamitra Muni? And I will come to this point. Vishwamitra Muni he did a sense control. So much sense control. But what happened finally? He fell down. On the other side, we have Haridas Thakur, who was doing bhajan. And Prabhupada writes here that, but in case of pure devotee, the senses are not at all artificially stopped from doing anything, but they are given different good engagements. Meaning that whenever we have to engage senses need, like you have to eat food, then we give the Krishna Prasad. We make food in our home and give Krishna Prasad, and sense will be engaged, no problem. So we can see example of great rishis here itself. Vishwamitra, again a great rishi, but fall down happened because he tried to control senses. And here we see Haridas Thakur. He initiated Maya Devi. So therefore, we have to make sure that we don't enforce the control on our senses. Let's take an example. We have a lot of young kids here. Children are there. Now, in few days, there will be Ekadashi. So he said, okay, tomorrow is Ekadashi, you're not eating anything. Enforce them. No, mommy, I'm hungry. What to do? No, but Ekadashi. I've read in scripture, one who does Ekadashi will go back to Goloka. So no eating. The child will not be able to control that. So what we have to do? Okay, we'll make some nice prasad. We'll make some nice quinoa, some paneer sabji, and we offer it to Krishna and then make it prasad and give it to our children. They will eat it. They will relish it. But if you enforce them, no, you have to stop. You cannot eat them. Then that's not going to work. So that's what happened here in case of Vishwamitra Muni. But in case of Haridas Thakur, he engaged all his senses into the service of the Lord. And we can see the difference between these two sadhakas. In fact, I have a story here which I want to narrate. So what happened is that when, there's a story from Journey Home. So I'm going to talk about that. So when Maharaj was traveling, and before coming to Krishna consciousness, he was exploring different practices. He was in Himalayas, he went to Nepal. Those who have read the story may be able to connect it. But I will narrate the whole story about this specifically. So they all he was going in Pashupatinath temple, Buddhist monks, everywhere he went to understand what they are doing. And he stayed with them for a few months to understand how the practice should be. He practiced also. And after that, he concluded that Krishna consciousness is the best thing to do. So he joined that. So once he was in Buddhist monastery in North India. And then his visa was expiring. So he needed an extension. So people told, you have to go to Mumbai to get your visa extended. He says, I have no place to stay in Mumbai. So what do I do? So those Buddhist practitioners, they were from the Zen Buddhist. So he says, no problem. We have a place there. We have an ashram in Mumbai. And when your dates are there in that week, we have a meditation camp, which is free. So your stay, food, everything is taken care of. Maharaj said, oh, this is great. Let me go. So he said, all right, I'll go there. So Maharaj came to Mumbai and he was in the ashram. And what they were supposed to do for 8 hours in a day, they have to look at the wall and the ceiling where they are meeting, as this person is seeing, wall and ceiling, where they meet. And you have to just look at that joint, the junction, for 8 hours. Just keep looking at this. That's it. That was the meditation. So Maharaj says, I was able to see some cockroach, some lizard, some rats moving. But that's a meditation they told. You have to see this. Now, can you imagine you're seeing the wall and all this for 8 hours, doing nothing? I mean, how is that? And he said, Maharaj said, it's there in the book also, that, the person who was observing all this meditators who are meditating on that. His job was to make sure that they all see this. How? So he will stand with a stick and then you have to meditate. If you don't meditate, then he will come and hit you. Stick. Okay, you have to do it properly. He will come. So his meditation was who is not watching and then hit them with a stick. But everybody has to see this wall or the junction and they keep looking at it. Maharaj says, I found it like it's too complicated. What is this? This is nothing. You're seeing, but there is no engagement there. So Maharaj was out on first day itself. He said, I do not stay there. He left. And he went to Mumbai, where Prabhupada had a very big pandal, and which about 20,000-30,000 devotees used to come. So he saw Hare Krishna festival. And Maharaj went there. And it was in the morning. The program was in the evening. So Maharaj went there and Guru Das Prabhu was there. So he said, Maharaj went there, he started exploring. And Maharaj saw the Krishna book. It was very fascinating. So he asked Guru, can I read this book? I have no money to buy. I don't have money to buy. So I will just read this book here. He said, okay, you read it, but please return it. He said, okay. So Maharaj was reading and he has no idea about Krishna. Maharaj had no idea about Krishna, but he was absorbing into Krishna and reading the beautiful pastimes. And in the book, many times there are Hare Krishna mantra is repeated many times. And when Maharaj was reading, Yamuna Devi on the stage was singing Hare Krishna mantra and some Bengali bhajans, and Maharaj was relishing and absorbing into that. Then once he finished the reading, whatever he could by the evening, he came to return the book to Guru Das Prabhu. So when he was returning the book, he says, please, this is a return. So he says, now that you have read book for free, can you do some service? You're looking for volunteers. So he says, yes, what service you do? So he says, you have to distribute these books, but you take care of the small books, like back to Godhead magazine, because you are new, you won't know. So you just take care of that. What you do is that you tie the books, you take this needle and thread and tie the books, because these Indians, they will just take the book for free. They find colorful book and they will just take it for free. But these are not free, they have to pay for it. So he said, okay, you tie them and just keep it there. So Maharaj's duty was to put a hole in the book, in the back to Godhead magazine, and tie with the small thread to the table so that people won't be able to carry it. Maharaj said, I was doing that. And then when the evening program started, thousands of people started coming in. People were seeing this book and they were looking at it, and you find very beautiful pictures. They will just remove the thread and take the magazine with them. So Maharaj said, I did not stop them because my duty, I was told to just tie the magazines. I was not told to protect them. So I just tied them. And then Maharaj said, I did not say anything to them also. They just took it like that. And that's how we know that how Maharaj got connected. Right? Maharaj was hundreds of feet away, and then Prabhupada called him, please call this young boy, and he came. Like that. So we can see that one who is engaged in enforcing the sense control, there is no success. We see from the Shastra, we can see from the recent time also, it is not possible. We cannot control senses. It's very difficult. Sometimes we feel that we have to do it, but it is not possible. So there's a beautiful bhajan which is given here. You can see this. Narottam Das Thakur has written, Araka Benita Chande Karuna Hoibe Samsara Basana Mora Kavetu Chaibe Vichaya Chariya Habe Buddha Bemana Kabe Hamahera Shri Vrindavan. So he says, Vishaya Chadiya, Vishaya. We have to give up this material enjoyment. Vishaya Chadiya. Then the mind will become clean. Declutter. The more we associate with these material things, the mind is getting cluttered more and more and more and more. There is no chance to declutter. Very difficult. Because today we are able to control, tomorrow we are not. Again, we fill the mind with all the garbage. Then again, third day we are trying to control. But the garbage is there. How much time it will take to clean that? In fact, those who wants to reduce fat, when they have become obese by overeating and poor eating habits, what doctors tell the dietitian? Well, the way you added your fat, which is slowly added, you ate one pizza, the next day you ate burger, then you ate some cake, and you ate butter. The slowly you added, millimeter by millimeter. In the same speed, you have to reduce it. So that means if you are adding clutter in our mind, we can imagine how many more years to go to declutter that. Therefore, we should, once we know that we don't have to do it, we have to stop that and enforce ourselves by engaging into Krishna conscious services. Further, Prabhupada writes here, in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the senses can be controlled only by better engagements. Devotional service necessitates purifying the senses or engaging them in the activities of devotional service. We have such a wonderful services, from chanting to serving deities, to serving Vaishnavas, to doing some service in the temple. So many things are there, right? So devotional service is not in action, meaning that I'm not just sitting and chanting about this. That is not devotional service. Devotional service means what? We have to engage into some activity. Here, Prabhupada is, anything done in the service of the Lord becomes at once purified of its material nature. For example, we eat prasad. We eat food. But as soon as we offer it to Krishna, what happens? It becomes Mahaprasad. So that's what Prabhupada says. Anything done in the service of the Lord, we want to serve the Lord by giving him nice prasad, and then we give that, and immediately that becomes Mahaprasad. We earn so much money. If we use that money in donating that money in the service of Krishna, doing some service for Krishna, then what happens? That money is purified. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yagna Shishta Sino Santo, Muchante Sarva Kilbishe, Bhunjatete Agam Papa, Epachantyatma Karana. If we are not offering things to Krishna and eating on our own, then we are eating what? Agam Papa. We are eating sins. And therefore, this prasadam, making anything which we have in material world, we have to make it purified by offering to Krishna. And then there is no problem. That's what it is. Like today when we are in the flight, I just took some fruits because I don't know what they are making, right? And Vishaka Mata made some nice teplas and some chuddar, so we are eating that, relishing, those kind of things. We don't have to eat food in the plane. We are not going there. For that 24-hour journey, we eat 2-3 times, how much contamination will come in our mind? We can think like that. It's not free. Dear devotee, it is all scam. Scam in the sense that it will bind us in this world. For that little freebies, we will get caught. Little freebies. Therefore, we have to become Jitendriya. We have to overcome the senses. The material conception is due to ignorance only. The material conception is because of ignorance. Now that our ignorance is gone, right? We know what is that because we are reading scripture. We are understanding what Harikatha means, what Prabhupada is telling, what our Guru Varga is telling. We know it. Therefore, there is no ignorance now. Means we have to eat prasad. We have to purify ourselves. We have to control senses. We have to chant. We have to read scripture. We have to listen. This is all we have to do. And here, there is nothing beyond Vasudeva. Vasudeva is the supreme. Krishna is the supreme. And Prabhupada writes here, very wonderful point, and this is what we all need to practice more and more, is that the Vasudeva conception gradually develops in the heart of the learned after a prolonged acceleration of the receptive organs. Meaning what? When we hear Harikatha, which is our receptive organ, then over a period of time, we'll get purified. And we understand who Krishna is. Otherwise, if we hear sometimes, like we hear once in a week, once in a month, with attention. I'm talking about attentive listen, attentive hearing. I'm not talking about hearing while we are doing something and all that is keep happening, but attentive hearing, where we are only doing that activity. That kind of hearing, if you do it regularly, even for 15 minutes, 15 minutes, not more. We don't have to do more, 15 minutes only. If you do that, our life will completely change. I'm telling you, within 6 months, we will see the changes. The transformation can happen. It is that fast, and it is that pure. It is that transcendental. So, here Prabhupada lies in the last line. He says that, therefore, controlling the senses by devotion service is the only and easiest means. We shouldn't be controlling our senses by force. It won't happen. And as Prabhupada said, we have to engage. We cannot even keep them ideal. It is not possible. So we have to engage it. We'll go to the next verse. We'll just see all these things. Here, this talks about his excellent pastimes. We can see how learned the Hastinapur ladies are, how knowledgeable they are. So this is talking about that. Sava ayam sakya anugeta satkrito
Ayam Sakyanugita Satkato
Vedeshu guhyeshu cha guhya vadibhi
Dedeshu Yeshu Chago Yagadivi
ya eka isho jagadatma leelaya
Yaekaiso Jagadatma Leelaya
srujyat tavati atina tatra sajjate srujyat yavatyatina tatra sajjate. Okay, Narenji, can you please read the translation?
Oh, dear friends, here is that very personality of Godhead whose attractive and confidential pastimes are described in the confidential parts of Vedic literature by his great devotees. It is he only who creates, maintains, and annihilates the material world and yet remains unaffected. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So very clear. Krishna does everything, but he's still unaffected. He is doing it, but he's not getting affected. Here we do something, we get immediately affected by that, isn't it? Whatever we do, we get immediately affected. But here Krishna is not. And he's doing different leela. All the leelas are happening, but he is not getting affected. And he's the one who creates, he maintains, and annihilates. There is nothing beyond Vasudeva. In a purport, Prabhupada writes, as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, all the Vedic literatures are glorifying the greatness of Lord Shri Krishna. Any literature we pick up, any literature, Lord Vishnu, Krishna, they are glorified. Any literature. Here it is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita also. The Vedas are expanded by many branches and sub-branches by great devotees and empowered incarnations of the Lord like Vyasa, Narada, Sukadeva Goswami, and the Kumaras, Kapila, Prahlada, Janaka, Bali, Yamaraja. But in the Srimad Bhagavatam especially, the confidential part of his activities are described by the confidential devotee, Sukadeva Goswami. So Sukadeva Goswami has narrated amazing pastimes. First 9 cantos are full with understanding who Krishna is, and then beautiful pastimes are getting described in the 10th canto. Very, very beautiful. But to understand those pastimes, if we straight away jump to that, we will not understand. First, we have to understand who Krishna is. Unless we understand, we will see that all these activities look like a mundane. We'll try comparing them straight away with our mundane activity going around us because we have no knowledge of what happens in the spiritual world or what spiritual world is. We have no knowledge. And therefore, we think it's just another world where this might be happening. So we compare with what's happening in this world and compare them together. That's what the Mayavadis, that's what the other atheist people, they do it. Prabhupada further writes, in the Vedanta Sutras or Upanishads, there is only a hint of confidential part of its pastime. Only little hint is given. But no scripture explains like Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Krishna. Bhagavatam is about Sri Krishna. So if you want to understand Krishna, then we have to read and hear Katha from Srimad Bhagavatam. Otherwise, it will be just another day where we have not read anything, we have not done enough of study of scripture, we are not here Hari Katha. Day is gone, and we are back to what we were doing so far. So if you want to make a progress, then this is very, very important to know Krishna and understand his life and his activities. Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the one who understands Janma Karma Chame Divyam, if you understand his birth and his activities, then we can go back to Godhead. Now to understand what we have to do, if you have to understand something about someone, we have to read about him. We have to listen about him. We have to understand glories of that devotees. Like today, Mataji was in her reading class, and she was listening because we were traveling. So when we were in Doha, she was listening to that class. And the Mataji narrated one amazing personality. I don't remember the name, but she was very old. She has been doing some amazing surveys. And she's always in the back end, like not in a front end, like a glorious somebody who's a president and a leader, nothing of that sort. But she was nurturing the devotees so well. Everybody felt that this Mataji has a personal relationship with me. She was treating everybody so nicely and helping them advance in the Krishna consciousness, sharing the stories, everything she was doing. Very low profile. Very, very low profile. She developed cancer and then she had to leave this world. She departed on the Sharad Purnima. When Maharaj came to meet her, she says, Maharaj told her that, what are you doing here? Today is a Ras Leela. Ras Leela happens on a Sharad Purnima. And there is a shortage of one gopi. You should be there in that. And then Maharaj, Mataji said, no, I'm not calling her. No, they are waiting for you. And Maharaj took his chappal and blessed her. And then she left her body. What a glorious departure on the Sharad Purnima in presence of Guru Maharaj with the blessings of devotees and Maharaj. So dear devotees, it's all about doing very nice bhajan. We don't have to be in a position that I am this, I am that. We don't have to hanker for all these things. Krishna looks at what we are doing for him, how we are treating people around us, how we are treating our devotee community, how we are serving them. This is all matters. But this knowledge of how to treat, what to do, will come from reading scriptures. By reading scriptures, by hearing Harikatha. So many difficult questions that we have get answered when we hear some Katha. Many of us like to listen to question answer because that's where we get a lot of clarity. And I don't stop when I'm listening a lecture. I don't stop saying Hari Bol. No, then he says, okay, questions. Then we listen to that further also. Because sometimes we may not have that intelligence to answer those questions. But somebody asks, oh yeah, this is what I was also thinking. And then we hear the answer and we can make the changes in our life. Therefore, listening to Katha is so important. Listening from a pure devotee, listening within the parampara, it is very, very important. So, that is what it is. Now here, Prabhupada further writes, in such Vedic literatures as the Upanishads, the Lord has expressively been distinguished from the mundane conception of his existence. His identity being fully spiritual, his form, name, quality, and paraphernalia, etc., have been elaborately distinguished from matter, and therefore he is sometimes misunderstood by less intelligent persons as impersonal. What is this verse in Bhagavad Gita? Krishna says, Avajananti mam muda manushim tanum ashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwara. Fools don't understand Krishna. Fools If you are not understanding, then Prabhupada is giving in very loud and clear word. Prabhupada, in fact, uses this word, even harsh word, and he says rascals, kind of thing. He uses those kind of thing also. But this is a little mild word. Okay, fools. Because people think, oh, Krishna came, Lord Ram came, and they also died. So what's the big deal? Maybe they are bigger personality, but they are just like us. So what's the thing? But they don't understand. This is called Mudha, the fools. We don't have to be in that category. Then here, Prabhupada lights in the last line, he says, but factually, he is the supreme person, Bhagwan, and he is partially represented as Paramatma or impersonal Brahman. So we see here, Krishna is, Lord can be perceived in three different ways. One is Brahman, second is Paramatma, and third is Bhagwan. So what we are going after is Bhagwan, where we can see the Krishna in his full feature. But most of the people, most of the practitioners, they go to, because they practice Upanishad, Vedanta and all, they go to the level of Brahman or Paramatma, not beyond that. So they cannot understand Krishna in his full form, in a full feature, which is not possible. They cannot understand that. So that is what is happening here. Now here, this is a divine descent, means Krishna comes. So Krishna has come in many forms, right? And Krishna keep coming. So here we can read this verse. Verse number 25. Yada haya dharmane natamo diyanripa jivanti tatresha hi satvatah kila datte bhagam satyam ritam dayam yasho bhavaya rupani dadat yuge yuge. Okay. So yeah, anybody in the room? Mataji want to say one translation?
Whenever there are kings and administrators living like animals in the lowest modes of existence, the Lord in his transcendental form manifests his supreme power, the truth positive, shows special mercy to the faithful, performs wonderful activities, and manifests various transcendental forms as is necessary in the different periods and ages.
Hare Krishna. So here is an indication that Krishna descends in different forms, different yugas, very clear. No questions about that. Right? Why he descends? We know yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. We know that whenever there is a adharma, the rise of adharma, and decline of dharma, then Krishna has to appear. For what? For protecting the devotees and subduing the demons. Demon doesn't mean a demon, but demon doesn't mean he has a horn and thorn, all those, not background. Demon means somebody with that kind of mentality. That's what demon means. So when those kind of mentality increases, is on the rise, then Krishna will descend. Because in everything, here in Bhagavatam, this is a very beautiful shloka in Bhagavatam. And this is the heart of Bhagavatam. I mean, this is what Krishna is in Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami is trying to tell us. By reading whole Bhagavatam, we should understand this verse. What is it? Let us all recite, because this is very wonderful. Ete cham sakala pumsa.
Ete cham sakala pumsa.
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam.
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam.
Indrari Vyakulam Lokam.
Indrari Lokam.
Mrudayanti Yuge Yuge.
Udayanti yuge.
Okay. Anybody in the room wants to recite? Read the translation.
All of the
Abha
above-
or Akshaj? Yeah.
all of the above mentioned portions of the portions of the Lord. The Lord Shri Krishna, the original personality. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the deities. The Lord incarnates to protect their fields.
Hare Krishna. So, this is very important. Krishna will come as Krishna. Krishna came as a Krishna. He came Swayam. Right? And then what happened? Here, in Chaitanya Bhagavat, they talked about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is also very wonderful. He says, Ananda Leela Maya Vigrahaya
Maya vigrara.
Hema Badivya Chachavi Sundaraya
Eva divya sundaraya.
Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya
Tasmai mahaprema rasa pradaya.
Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste.
Chaitanya Chandraya Namo.
Okay, Akshat, can you read better?
I say Krishna Chandra, I will tell you my repeating additions. You are the person representation of Krishna Vishnu pastime. You are extremely beautiful. Having a diamond golden master, you have already to the people of your world, the topmost mothers of expected love for Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, earlier Krishna came, now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give the love of Krishna, helping us understand who Krishna is, how to love Krishna. Basically, showing the practical demonstration of what Sukadeva Goswami spoke about in Bhagavatam. He came to demonstrate how to love Krishna. See, he is coming himself to teach how to love him. It's such a wonderful thing, isn't it? This is how you do it. So now, in this yuga also, Krishna is present every moment. Can somebody tell me how he is present? How he is incarnated?
To the Guru,
Sorry?
the Guru Prabhu, spiritual master.
Yeah, Guru is one. What others?
Scripture, literature,
Sorry, Vikas Prabhu?
scriptures,
Scriptures?
Hmm?
Yes, scriptures came in the Bhagavatam, book Bhagavatam, yes. But which is the most authentic way?
Deities?
Deities are there, but Mata is prompting me from back and it's chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So here it is. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar Nama Hite Haya Sarva Jagata Nistar. Krishna has come in Kali Kale as what? Holy name. He has come as a holy name. This is all discussion we are going to read, in Chaitanya Charitamrita we are reading. We are, I think, in 14th, 15th chapter. Right? We will be reading this verse very soon. So, holy name has come as a Krishna. There is no difference. Acharyas keep telling this. And when earlier in my initial days, when I used to listen this, there is no difference between Krishna and his name. And I was like, confusion. How is this possible? Krishna is like a person and this mantra is different. Like that. I was not very clear. But now we understand by chanting only, we can understand Krishna. Just by chanting. But this chanting has to be how? The sincere chanting. This chanting has to be focused chanting. By meditating on Krishna's form, Leela, pastimes, his activities, his different names, then this will be effective. Otherwise, it will be just like normal things. In fact, this is so potent in Kali Yuga. One time we take Hare Krishna Mahamantra, our bhakti will start. Just once. And he even mentioned that if we chant in any way, Chant while sleeping, by walking, by sitting, by doing some activities. Even if that is so potent, just imagine if you do a focused chanting, how much power it has got. Because we are in this different world, we are in a material world, we have to go to spiritual world. The only connection between these two is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Through this we can go back. And if we are not getting taste in chanting, that means we need to do more of a Vaishnava service. We do service to the Vaishnava. We serve them nicely. We avoid doing offenses to devotees. And then this taste will develop. But both have to go hand in hand. Chanting also has to happen, and service to the Vaishnavas also must happen. Like all those Matajis, when they cook on our Friday, they are doing serving all the Vaishnavas who are coming for Hari, listening Harikatha. And everybody wants, even if you say no, everybody says no, I want to make something. No, but it's all done. No, I will still make something. Like everybody has that bhav. It's like an enthusiasm. Utsaha nischaya dhairya. Everybody has utsaha so much that I will make something. And also makes in a lot of quantity. It's not that, okay, everybody get 1 spoon of sambar. No, everybody gets like 2 full big spoons of sambar. Because everybody is enthusiastic to serve. This is how we should serve Vaishnavas, and then keep chanting. And things will happen. And if things are not happening, then we have to apply a push formula. P-U-S-H. Everybody knows push, right? So there is a push formula. What is push? P for pray. P for pray. U, pray until. S for something. H for happen. Pray until something happens. Keep pushing yourself by chanting. Nothing happening. Yeah, keep chanting. Oh, still, peep. Like, we have to open a door which is jammed. We push hard. Keep pushing. And one day, I'm telling you, dear devotees, we will be successful. We are getting beaten by Maya left, right, and center. But one day, you see the boxing match? Everybody has seen boxing match or wrestling somewhere, right? What happens? There are like 10, 12, 13 rounds in a boxing match. So there are 2 people. Both are fighting each other. Both are giving punch to each other. Let's assume this is not a knockout game. This is like a whole 13 round game where everybody has to hit, and then finally the referee will come and bowl both the hands and then say, and the winner is like this. Similarly, we have Maya, which is fighting with us, and one side we are fighting with her. So Maya is defeating sometime here. We defeat Maya by focusing, by doing some Vaishnavas here, by chanting. Again, Maya comes back and gives her temptation. Again, we hit her. Again, like this happening. And one day, Maya will hold her hand, and Krishna will come in the center and hold Maya and us and say, okay, Hari Bol, Naren Prabhu is victorious. Hari Bol. Just imagine. Just imagine this thing can happen. So what is this? We have to push. We don't have to give it up. This will keep happening. Maya will try to fool us. Maya will try to bewilder us. Maya will try to confuse us. All this will continue. But we have to keep fighting and say, nothing is happening. Wait till the climax when the Krishna says, Naren Prabhu is a victorious person. Just imagine how wonderful it is. So we have to believe in the process. We have to believe in these words of Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas. And Mahaprabhu is telling himself, Kali Kale Naam Rupe Krishna Avatar. Anyone who does this chanting will be delivered simply by chanting. What a powerful thing. But we are not able to do this. That's the sad part. But as I said, let's keep pushing. Pray until something happens. And let's beat Maya in the boxing match that we have. Krishna has to raise our hand. No. My devotee is victorious. So that's how we should see. So why did we come here? Something must be. Oh, yeah. Okay, so there's one few points are there. I will just read from the purport. There are some good points are there. See, as you know, we are all Nitya Baddha. We are not a Nitya Siddha. We are not a Siddha Swarup, right? So we are Nitya Baddha. We are trying to become what?
Baddha.
Sadhana Siddha or Baddha Mukta. We are trying to become Sadhana Siddha. Through Sadhana, we are trying to become Siddha, or we are trying to go Baddha Mukta, which is like free from this. So that's what our position is. So Prabhupada is saying here, very important point. Please listen this carefully. The material world is created to satisfy the whims of the Nitya Baddha or everlasting conditioned souls, just as naughty boys are provided with playing cradles. So we are Nitya Baddhas. And just because we want to enjoy, this material world is created. And further, Prabhupada writes, otherwise there is no need of the material world. There is no need of this material world. Just because I want to enjoy, I want to go there. Disneyland is created. I want to go there. Okay, this is created. I want to go there. Flag, what is it? Six Flag or something is created. I want to go and enjoy this ride. Everybody wants to enjoy. So, okay, I will give intelligence to someone who will build this, and then you all go and serve it. Spend your money instead of serving in my service. This is what is happening. Every word of Prabhupada purport is nectar. It is giving us very clear instructions. Only if we follow them, our life will be successful. So this is how it is. But when they become intoxicated with the power of material science to exploit the resources unlawfully without the sanction of the Lord, and that also only for sense gratification, there is necessity for the Lord's incarnation to chastise the rebellious and to protect the faithful. Krishna keeps coming again and again. And then further Prabhupada writes about various incarnations and all that. But the point is that if we are very sincere in our sadhana, please, we should expect that more attacks from Maya will going to happen. Maya will test us. Haridas Thakur's chanting 192 rounds, 300,000 names every day was tested. And we are struggling to chant 25,000 names, which is 16 rounds. So please expect that as we go up, the test will happen. Because Krishna wants only the best people to come to him. And we have to become the best. We have to become the best. And I'm telling you, dear devotees, sometimes, many devotees give up this practice. Many devotees give up the practice thinking that things are not happening. Because we have a certain frame of mind. I'm chanting so much, I'm doing so much service, I'm giving so much donations, I'm hosting sadhus, all this is happening. So within 2 years, I should develop taste, I should be able to see Krishna, I should hear Krishna's flute. No, we should not expect. I was telling the other day, right, in one class, that Krishna will decide how to give mercy. Krishna will decide the time and place and circumstances to give mercy. It is not based on our whims. Krishna, please give mercy now. No. And his mercy may be coming in a different way. We expect that I should get a lottery. But Krishna will give us such a way that, okay, your work will become easy, you are able to focus and you do more bhajan. You don't need a lottery. You just need enough money, which is sufficient for you, and now you do bhajan. Krishna can make that kind of arrangement. But if we have an expectation, I'll win a lottery, and my life will be successful. So that's not going to happen. But you have to trust Krishna, that Krishna will take care. Krishna says, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. My devotee will never perish. Krishna will give what we need, and he will never betray us. Never. Just because we have a different expectation, like, we have some celebration, birthday or whatever it is, right? Somebody come and gives gift. Now we expect that I will expect this kind of gift. When the gift is different, we feel a little disappointed. Especially in case of young children, they feel, oh, I should have got the car. Instead of they get me the book, like Krishna's Leela, book they give me. What do I do with this book? I wanted a car to play. So therefore, the way we expect something and the way we Krishna delivers is completely different. And then we should expect and accept without any ill feeling towards Krishna. That Krishna, you are not listening to me. Krishna gives what we need. He has given to everybody. So we are not an exception. And Prabhupada writes in the last line that he says, he is famous as Asmur Dhava, unparalleled. There is nobody parallel to him. And no one is equal to or greater than Krishna. So nobody is greater than Krishna. Nobody. And therefore, Save Pumsa Parodha. So it is like that. Okay, let's go to verse number 26. Krishna is definitely praiseworthy and he is supreme. So supremely praiseworthy personality. So here, let us read this verse. Aho alam shaladya tamam yadokulam. Aho Maho alam punyatamam madhurvanam. Yadesha pumsam Rishabha Shriyapati.
Yadesha Pumsam Rishabha Shriyapati.
Swajanmana Chakra Sajanma Chankra Manena Chanchati. Okay. Any Mataji want to read translation?
Translation. Oh, how supremely glorified is the density of King Yadu, and how virtuous is the land of Mathura, where the supreme leader of all living beings, the husband of the goddess of fortune, has taken his birth and wandered in his childhood. Hare
Krishna. So now, see, this is the heart of a devotee. Devotees are never envious of others. They are saying, oh, this Mathura Vasis, they are so fortunate. Why? Because Krishna was born there. Krishna did his Leelas in Mathura. So they are not being jealous, but they are glorifying them. Similarly, within devotee also, we should not be jealous when somebody is making advancement, somebody getting more mercy. We should feel happy about it. We should feel happy about it. Saying that, oh, such a wonderful, he must be doing some very nice sadhana. Maybe he has done some wonderful, Krishna conscious or bhakti in the previous life. And therefore, he is so amazingly doing this. That's how we should see it. Not having envy or jealousy toward it. It's not going to help. Envy, jealousy is the only quality that Krishna doesn't allow. It doesn't like to be in the Goloka. No envy. Envy has no place in spiritual world. No place at all. So, in purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, in the Bhagavad Gita, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, has expressively given a description of his transcendental appearance, disappearance, and activities. The Lord appears in a particular family or a place by his inconceivable potency. He does not take birth. His birth as a conditioned soul quits body and accepts another body. Like he does not take birth like all of us. Because we quit body, we get into another body, depending on our karma, what is our mental condition at the time of death. All these things are considered. But Krishna doesn't do that. How was Krishna born? So when Krishna was to be born, he first entered in the mind of Vasudeva. From mind of Vasudeva, he entered in the mind of Mother Devaki. And from there, he got delivered. He appeared. His birth is not like our birth. No. It is not a seminal birth. It is an appearance. That's why we call all this appearance. It is not like they took birth. Janma karma chame divya. Yome veti tatpataha. So it says, anybody who knows my janma, my birth, my activities, then he can come back to me. But to understand this itself is so difficult. Who is able to understand this? Not everybody. Because everybody thinks Krishna is formless. So he sometimes takes the form of a Krishna or a Ram, and then again he becomes formless. That is the understanding of Mayavadis. That means they don't consider Krishna as supreme. They think the Lord is someone who has no form. But so many scripture describe Krishna's beauty. How these acharyas are able to describe such wonderful beauties of Krishna? Because it is all mentioned in the scripture. Through meditation, they see and then they write those. But Mayavadis, they don't see it, so they don't understand, and therefore they think it's all Maya. So here, in the purport, Prabhupada writes, his birth is like the appearance and disappearance of the sun. The sun arises on the eastern horizon, but that does not mean that the eastern horizon is the parent of the sun. So what it means that we think that Krishna took birth, so Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, Vasudeva, Devaki, they are parents. Of course, they are parents as far as Leela is concerned, but Krishna is unborn. Krishna is unborn, therefore he doesn't have a parent. Like his example, Prabhupada gives the sun. Like sun is going to rise from east now in some time in here, in my home, right? So because it is going to rise from east, I don't have to connect that, oh, sun is a son of east. No, it is coming. It is a process. But he is not the son of that direction. Similarly, Krishna is unborn. So that is something that we need to understand. Prabhupada helps us by putting these small, examples and giving such a wonderful clarity to all of us. Further, Prabhupada writes, the sun is an existent in every part of the solar system, but he becomes visible at a secluded time and so also becomes invisible at another scheduled time. Similarly, the Lord appears in this universe like the sun and again leaves our sight at another time. He exists at all times and at every place, but by his causeless mercy, when he appears before us, we take it for granted that he has taken his birth. Isn't it such a clear thing given by Srila Prabhupada? By giving a comparison with the sun? Like here in US currently is getting dark, right? But here the sun is going to rise. So people in US may think, oh, sun is gone. No, but sun is here. It's going to come up very shortly. So Krishna will also appear and disappear like that, like a sun. But people think him like a mundane birth. That's where the problem comes, because once you have this kind of understanding of Krishna, we can never understand Krishna in his full potency as a Bhagavan. That does not happen. He appears before us, we take it for granted that he has taken the birth. Anyone who can understand this truth in terms of statement of revealed scripture certainly becomes liberated just after quitting the present body. If we understand that Krishna is Supreme Bhagavan and he doesn't take birth, just this understanding, we will get delivered. So all this is leading us to one point, that we need to understand Krishna. And to understand Krishna, we need to chant, we need to serve the sadhus, we need to hear and read Srimad Bhagavatam. These activities help us do that. Like here, Prabhupada makes one very nice point. But simply by knowing in truth about the Lord's transcendental birth and activities, one can get liberated at once. Only by knowing this. But to know this itself is so difficult, isn't it? Just to know these activities, we become confused. People say, oh, how did he lift Govardhan? How did he kill such big, asuras in Vrindavan? People don't consider that. How he expanded. He married 16,108 wives. He was playing Rasla with billions of gopis. And people say, oh, Vrindavan is so small. How a billion people fit there? This question comes in the mind. But if we read the Krishna's Leela and we understand who Krishna is, all this question will not arise. We will not have a doubt in our mind. Today we have so much doubt because we don't understand. Now, for example, there's a lot of traffic in the city, right? And we take like 1 hour from our home to airport. Now just imagine that the president is coming and he has to also go by a car. What happens? The whole road is cleared. He goes, no signal, nothing. And he reaches in 20 minutes. And how is it possible? Yeah, because he's a president, he can do it. Things will become easy for him. For us, it is not. So if you think that, oh, how he lifted go, then, oh, you cannot even lift 1 glass of water like this for 7 days, 7 hours. So we cannot do it. We cannot compare all the things. So therefore, knowing Krishna will help us understand his Leelas very easily. Otherwise, his Leelas are very difficult to understand. His Leelas are very contradictory. That day I was talking to children of, Gita wise, and we are talking about the contradiction in the Damodar Leela. Like this is Damodar month, right? Kartik month, and Damodar Leela happened. So I was telling children that how Krishna is doing a lot of contradiction in that. So a few contradictions I will talk about. See, Krishna says he is a fear personified. Means the fear will become fearful of Krishna. But here in Damodar, what is happening? Krishna is become fearful. He gives abhayam. He gives fearlessness to everybody, and he himself is become fearful. Why? Because Mother Yashoda is holding a stick in her hand. So this is a contradiction. Second contradiction, one who cannot be bound, he gets bound. He can release all of us from the existence of the material world. He can release all the knots and we can go back. But he himself is getting bound again. Again, a contradiction. So we can see Damodar Leela is full of contradiction. Now somebody may not understand, oh, how is it possible? Oh, one he says he gives abhayam and now he's getting fearful, he's crying, he's running because Mother Yashoda is coming to catch him. What is this? Is it Bhagavan? Doesn't look like Bhagavan. Even Lord Brahma got bewildered. Lord Brahma, such a great personality, got bewildered. What is this? This is like boy eating, he cannot be Bhagavan. Impossible. So therefore, if he understands the Shastras deeply, if he study the scriptures, then all this confusion will not be there. Our confusion is arising because of poor knowledge and faith also. We don't have the faith.
Establish the sambandh of Krishna and him. That's why we don't understand.
Yes, Mata is saying that we don't establish our sambandha with Krishna. We have to establish our relationship with Krishna. Then we will go. Because she's been reading all while, in the flight. She's been reading one book and she read almost half book she finished. I said, okay, she's talking some points from there. So I'm also getting enlightened by her talks. So this is how it is, dear devotees. We have to build our sambandha. Then the abhideya will come and then prayojan. So sambandha, abhideya, prayojan. This is important to know this. We should know our goal. We should know our relationship and we should know how to go there. And then we can reach there. Otherwise, it doesn't happen. So, and there will be, So here Prabhupada further writes, here in the purport Prabhupada, we are not reading the whole thing, but we'll just read one important point which is here. If simply by knowing the transcendental nature of the birth and activities of the Lord, one can get liberated easily, we can just imagine what is in store for those who actually enjoy the company of the Lord in person as a family member or as a neighbor. Just think about it. Just think about this particular point. I'll read again because it is very important. Prabhupada is saying, if simply by knowing the transcendental nature of the birth and activity of the Lord, one can get liberated easily. We can get liberation just by knowing this. But then he can imagine, saying point here. We can just imagine what is in store for those who actually enjoy the company of the Lord in person as a family member or as a neighbor. So this means that If we are in the company of a Krishna, and if we are doing pastime there, we are part of that pastime. Just imagine our amazement, our happiness, our bliss. It's such a beautiful thing. But we are stuck in this world thinking about this beauty. I want to enjoy that. I want to go here and see this. I haven't eaten this item. And then we are getting bound here. Only if we knew this, we will go back. So our desire to achieve Krishna has to be higher than our desire to enjoy in this world. Our desire to enjoy and serve Krishna should be higher than desire to enjoy this world. Then we will go back. Otherwise, we will get bound here. And I'm not a pure devotee. I'm just telling what scriptures are telling. And I'm also struggling from the same point. But we all have to practice this faithfully. We have to practice this sincerely. With great faith and conviction, if we continue to practice this process, which is given by Srila Prabhupada, which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself came and told us and demonstrated that. Then the question is, what is the difficulty? What is the difficulty? In fact, we all should read the book by Srila Prabhupada called What is the Difficulty? It's a very nice book. Very nice book. In fact, today when Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj was giving lecture in Accenture, he was talking to all most of them were non-devotees, right? So he was giving very high level yoga practice and how the monk life is and all that. So he was mentioning that we all have to rise before the sun comes, for sure. We all have to. Every spiritual practitioner must rise before the sun comes, at least 1 hour before sun rises. This is required. 1 hour before sun comes. Second, no checking phone, no checking email, WhatsApp, nothing. We should meditate, and first of all, we should thank Krishna for waking us up, because we know there are millions of people dying just in the sleep. They cannot wake up. But we have fortunate that Krishna has given 1 more day. So we become sincere devotee. We can practice our bhakti, what we did not do yesterday. We made mistakes. Krishna, I want to fix it today. Krishna said, okay, I'll give you 1 more day. Please practice. We have to think in this line and practice devotional services. More enthusiasm, more faith, more determination. And then we can go back to God. But this is what is not happening with all of us. Everybody is struggling, but we have to keep practicing. We have to keep praying. Pray until something happens. That mantra we have to all implement in our life. Very, very important mantra. And another thing is that let us not make permanent decisions based on temporary situations. Many times we make permanent decisions based on temporary situations. This is also not good, because situation is momentary. But if we make a permanent decision, we don't understand what's behind the situation, and maybe our decision may be wrong. Like could be, we are meeting devotees and some small friction happens and we completely cut off relationship. It's not required. So point is that if we understand the Krishna in full, then our liberation is guaranteed. All the different scriptures are telling us this. So here Prabhupada writes, all those who were fortunate enough to associate with the Lord, the husband of the goddess of fortune, certainly obtained something more than what is known as liberation. Therefore, rightly the dynasty and the land are both ever glorious by the grace of the Lord. That means the places like Mathura, Dwarka, Vrindavan, where Krishna took birth and did his pastime, they are amazing places. The reason is this. So, I think we will stop here. What's the time now? Yeah, it's been an hour. We will stop here, and I have Another class. But if there is any question or comment, we can take that. Hare Krishna.
I have one question. Guru.
Yes, Vikas Prabhu.
You referring Acharya initial who came visa. Who is that?
Your voice is getting cut off. Is it with Naren also? Are you able, Naren Prabhu or Ramani, are you able to hear him?
No, oh, it's cutting off.
Yeah, can you come closer, Vikas Prabhu?
So, Prabhuji, the question is which Maharaj who basically practiced different religious practices and then joined Krishna consciousness with his form and visited Mumbai too. No, not able to. No problem.
Yeah, something, I don't know. No,
Prabhu,
you can,
maybe you can type the question. You can type the question, chat in the chat.
I'm able to hear Avanish and Narenji very clear. Somehow, I think there is some problem. If you can just type that.
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji.
Or you
Oh,
can
now
say
it's
now. I
clear.
think this is
Now it's clear.
You can say now. Go ahead.
Okay, I think I need to be this much closer then. Yeah. The in the initial discussion, you were referring an Acharya who did practice religious practices with various different religion and then joined the Krishna conscious class. So who is that Acharya? Because you were referring that he was after Srila Prabhupada, so in between, like in this time, right? Around.
Yes. He is still alive. He is my Guru Maharaj. He's Holiness Sadhana Swami Maharaj. So I was talking about his. So there's a book. His book is there. The Journey Home. It's a very, very wonderful. It is kind of an autobiography kind of thing. You can think, how he came into Krishna consciousness. It's such an amazing book. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, is he serving from Juhu Temple, India, or somewhere else?
He's serving from Chopari Temple in Mumbai.
Yeah,
Radha
Chopari.
Gopinath Temple. And he is also there. He spent half time in US, half time in India. Like that he does. In fact, everybody should read this book. I'm not trying to boast his book as because he's my Guru Maharaj. I'm not saying that. But it is only from the point that it is for everybody. Even if the children will read, they will get a lot of encouragement. Because it has got stories, adventure, lessons that they can learn and change the course of the life of the reader. So it's an amazing book. I don't know whether I have it here in my library. Let me just see. I may have it.
Sure, Prabhuji.
This is the book, The Journey Home.
Okay, Prabhuji.
This book available in all the languages.
Prabhuji, you had it before? Or
Sorry?
now having it?
You had it before, or you just have it now?
No, I had it from before I took initiation.
Before
It is
he
from
took.
before, yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
So
some issues with our microphone. So you need to talk in.
yeah, so this is amazing book. Let me just see if there is anything like in the picture or something. See, he met so many sadhus and all that. See, this book will tell us that how somebody can explore different things and then choose the right path from there. So we all can buy this book. It's not very costly book, and we can read this. It's such a wonderful book, and there we will also understand how and what he learns from everybody. He has no complaint about anyone. He has only gratitude. He has only gratitude towards all those people he met. So I would highly recommend everybody to have this copy. If you don't have it I have it in home also in US. And if somebody wants it, I can give it to them.
Prabhu, there's PDF too. I can send the PDF if people want.
Yeah, PDF is also there, but I prefer the hard copy. I want to go around and see and feel the pages, smell the pages. So nice. So my preference. That's why my home, as you can see, this is also library in my home. So when I build a home, this is a big thing that I made. I have to have a big library. So I got the library in the back where all the books are there. So like that.
Very good habit.
So before I arrived, I also got some 2 parcels which is containing some book. Mother, what is it? I ordered. Because those are the I personally bought it because those have the Tika by Acharyas. So while we read this Prabhupada's purport and all that, I want to read the additional thing and then we can discuss that wonderful thing which is written by Acharyas for all these words. Then it becomes, whole discussion, such a nice thing. Because of our Acharya like Narottam Das Thakur and Jiva Goswami, they wrote amazing commentary on the Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's why I got them. It just got delivered yesterday and I came today now. So I'm going to read that also. When we meet, I'll have all those books together. So we'll see this nectar that our Acharyas have shared. We can all discuss together. Isn't it such a wonderful thing? So, yeah. So any other question or comment or any correction? Okay. So, yeah. So I hope that
You will have a Mumbai Vada Pav as a prasad in the
Mata is also here. Your Mata is here.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So I'm very happy that you all came
Yeah.
together at one place and
So
meeting
nice.
because it is when it is virtual, everybody wants to be in their home and do each other. But I think you all made a decision. Let's meet. So I know Pooja Mataji has come, Vijay Mataji, you're there, Vikas Prabhu and family, Bilas Prabhu also has come. So it's so nice. All of you have come together. I'm very happy to see all of you. Yeah. Archana Mataji, are you there or you are online today? Mataji,
Today, Prabhu.
okay. Nice. Yeah, but thank you for joining. We're so happy that you all are joining because there is always one or other thing that can keep us active and away from our sadhana. But since you all have come, I'm very grateful to all of you. And
Thank you,
I'm happy to
Mataji
serve
made
all of you.
It's nice prasadam. Please
Yeah,
eat it all.
we will miss that
We
prasadam.
miss this prasadam. Puja Mataji.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for taking an online class, after jet lag.
It is.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy I'm able to serve all of you because that's the instruction I have got. Yes, Mataji?
We can only see that you get more strength.
Yeah, 24 hours, you'll be
You
tired.
can list it.
Okay. No problem. Yeah. Thank you so much for all the love and affection. And we'll continue studying. We'll continue reading Chaitanya Charitamrita from Monday to Thursday. And it will be same time. Today it is a little odd time, like 4:30. But I think from Monday it will become 5:30. So that will be fine. So we'll continue study that. So we'll join in on the reading Chaitanya Charitamrita and then we'll have a discussion on Bhagavatam the next week as well. So it'll be again online. Yeah.
Thank you, Visakha Mataji, for hosting this.
Yes.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for hosting. And thank you for that nice tepla, Mata. It was very helpful.
Very
Thank you so much.
Thank you for Moong Chila for Puja Mataji. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Last day we don't have to cook Mataji
Yeah.
because you sent so much Moong Chila power, so you could make it. So thank you so much. Okay, so you should all have nice prasadam now. We'll stop here. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta kodi varshavind ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Bhattavind ki jai. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Bilas Prabhu. We miss your Mridanga player, but within 1 month we'll play.
You forget actually.
Okay. Thank you, Vikas Prabhu. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Avnish. Hare Krishna.